Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaRakakadash, double honor to the apostles and elders, great most on the roll wall, and Shalom to the brothers in the wax in truth. Saw this on Newsweek, and it's something that's reflective, really, of like the last, probably since the 90s onwards, let's say late 90s onwards. As far as I can see in the UK, I couldn't speak as much to the US. I can definitely say post 2008 globally, it's been a wash. But it says what the 2025 American Dream will cost you $5 million, and it's functionally that shit's dead. That shit's cooked. That shit's not happening. Ain't like the vast majority of people that are living in the US are not making a cut. And then even for some people that might make the cut at a certain point in time, doesn't mean you can maintain it, man. So I read into it a bit. It says, the American dream has long symbolized the promise of opportunity, prosperity, and upward mobility. Coining 1931 by writer James Truslow Adams in The Epic of America, the term described that dream of a land in which life could be better and richer and full of everyone. And yeah, these, that's the vanity of vanities, really. Because the thing for that as well, if you're thinking 1931, I'm like, bro, that's talking about for Esau within that land. And there has been there was a great flourishing, in the hundreds of years America's been a place. And even in the time of the first, really like the most recent flood, the baby boomer generation, man. Well, no, the greatest generation is when the boom with the guys that helmed it. But then under the baby boomers, that's really when America came into its fullness as the superpower in the land. Because it was post World War II. That functionally set them in that place where there was so much growth, wealth, miracles, etc. happening, that you could be put doing an admin job for 40 years of your life and then afford will go into what it is, that American dream. But now it's like you could leave uni or college. You could graduate from college, go work at Facebook, make 120k starting salary, and then be broke by the time you're 40. Funny as fuck. It says what, but nearly a century later, achieving that vision is more expensive than ever. According to new research published by Investopedia, the lifetime cost of attaining the traditional American dream, including home ownership, retirement, raising children, a wedding, new cars, healthcare, pets, and annual vacations, now totals roughly $5 million. Yeah, and these are all the things that people have in their mind. What you watch, you go to like the 60s, the 50s, or even, I say that, My Wife and Kids is one I'd think of. That was 2000s, early 2000s. My Wife and Kids, and it was what, 3 kids, had a big fuck off house. He had, Michael run a business, and then initially Jay was working, but then she retires, so it's like one salary, essentially owning a business. Then he's funding like 3 kids, and they're living like upper middle class. They're living good. Those are things that's kind of what was expected. They didn't have a pet, but they had like the cars, was it raising children, wedding, cars. Yeah, wedding was so good. Man did the re-wedding, and a whole episode of that where they did a re-wedding, renewing the vows, annual vacations. Those the vacation episodes they had as well. So that a lot of those shows, that American dreams, like the blueprint for the standard lifestyle. What is it? The Simpsons as well. That's like what Matt Groening, I think his parents were baby boomers. because I think it was Gen X. Yeah, his parents were baby boomers, so they were like he was saying like the quintessential life for them, and like he was basing it where he was essentially Bart, so he was like Homer and Marge, like his parents' generation, so they were meant to represent the the baby boomers, where what Marge's stay-at-home mom, um what's his face, Homer was working at the power plant, and he's not even management, because there's a whole episode where he gets up to the executive level, gets the executive suite. I think it's the one where he gets the hair, yeah, he grows hair or whatever, and then like because of that, it's either the hair one or it's the one where he gets the he changes his name to Max Power. I can't remember exactly. Used to watch the episodes back in the day. I ain't watched them in a minute. But in one of those, he gets up to the executive level. They give him the key to the executive bathroom. So he's not on an executive level. He's just on a worker bee level. But then he's got the yard, the 3-bedroom house, big garden, where they got a tree house in the garden. Got the 2 whips. Got his whip. Got Marge's whip. And then he's paying for like, what do you call it? Lisa to get saxophone lessons, Bart to doing whatever he's doing, and then he's got the baby there, and it's just one salary, as like a low level salary. So that was it was achievable for a minute. It was achievable for a good little while, and a big part of why there's so much unrest now is the fact that those things are just like the baseline really of expectations. Because why everyone's kind of like, a lot of generations grown up seeing, their parents able to achieve those things. It was like, even that's what I say, like into the 90s, the 80s, 90s, you could still make good fucking money, even into the 2000s, really. But like post 2008 is where there's just been a cratering of opportunities, and really you've like that's kind of a gaping, glaring wound, man, in the economy as far as possibility, and it's irreconcilable, really, because it's the fundamental system's flawed. It can't be it can't be rejuvenated. You'd have to wash the whole thing, start again. But then and it's the knock-on effect of taking money off the gold standard, functionally having an economy floating with, no value underpinning anything. And then that just makes it so you can play and play and play. And the methods of play, the elites, those at the top, those top banking families are the chief at playing, because they can then get the things of actual value and hoard those things. Then everyone else is just out here dealing with, on a low level, man, on a base level. So this is what Philip E. Batten, President and CEO of Illinois-based Ambassador Wealth Management in Warrenville, Illinois, told Newsweek. The American dream is becoming harder to reach for many people. Wages for middle and working class Americans aren't keeping up with the rising costs of things like housing, healthcare, and everyday expenses. And then what retirement 1.6 million select. And yeah, it's like retirement. I remember I used to listen to the Stacking Benjamins podcast a while back, and they always said like retirement is a madness, and it's like, especially in the States, what makes it so expensive is healthcare. But then what does it say? Yeah, he said, however, while this is the ideal, that doesn't mean it's easy to achieve. Almost half of Americans don't have any retirement savings at all. Even those in the middle class are falling behind, with average savings around $134,000, which may not be enough to ensure financial security in retirement. Yeah, so like you said, almost half don't even have any retirement savings, which is, you know, what they say is it was I think it was like 40 something percent, something in the 40s, probably around the same percentage of people don't have enough money to cover an emergency. They live paycheck to paycheck, month to month. Because why? It's like a lot of the cost of things, like really from when you know, the US went off the gold standard onwards, the cost, you know, inflation's gone up and up and up, and wages have not kept up for shit. Which, you know, there's graphs you can look to that highlight, and it's just, yo, man are getting cooked. And then yeah, healthcare, 414 grand. Healthcare costs have soared over the past 2 decades, rising 5 to 6% annually. Absolutely through. Home ownership, 957 grand. For most Americans, owning a home is the most tangible sign of financial success, with median single-family home prices sitting at 415 grand in 2025, and 30-year fixed mortgages averaging 6.69%. Homeowners face nearly double the purchase price over time, when including interest, maintenance, and homeowners association fees. Owning a home, once a cornerstone of the American dream, is now out of reach for many younger people, Batten said. Yeah. Raising children, college. Then even that college you're sending the kids to. Bro, there's no fucking jobs out there, man. I think in the UK, the graduate unemployment rate, I think, is like 30%. And that's not even including people that graduate and then just go work at McDonald's or some shit. That's including people that graduate and do go work at McDonald's. If you were to cut them out, then you're gonna have like even more exponential numbers. I know it's the States, it's the same things. And then as far as whatever the fucking numbers they're saying in the States, you might as well treat them like how China's numbers are. Because Trump, you know, sacked the broad who was putting them numbers together. So whoever the fuck takes the job up after ain't gonna be given the real numbers. But then yeah, that's you know, all these things, legendary expenses. Fucking hell. So the pets is cheap. It's funny how fucking cheap that wedding is, comparatively. Cause then again, it's like fucking a wedding's a one-off expense. So was it raising 2 children and paying for college, retirement, healthcare, owning a home, owning a new car? I mean, a new car's whatever, man. But then something, especially when people go, even people that don't have money want a new car. New car's a new car. But that's, yeah. Oh, they have it under the fucking, oh, wait, purchasing a new car is comparative to a fucking home. What? Financing 2 new vehicles every 10 years. Oh, okay, yeah. So that would be, yeah, the 2 cars, the one for the wife, the one for the, and then one's going to be for the kids. So it'll be like a fucking, the hell's that dog shit called, man? One of 7-seaters. But yeah, these, you know, all these things at one point in time. That's why it's you know, the joke is like when the, you know, the millennial, the Gen Z, Zoomers, when you know, the current generations talk about, you know, the prior generations, they always say like, oh, you know, they'll say like, oh, why don't you have a house? And then they'll talk about, you know, they got their house for like 15 grand or some shit, you know, on a mortgage. They'll say they're working at Tesco and then got a house, a car, and managed to go fucking, you know, uni for free and study there. You know, meanwhile, all those things, you know, they're fucking legendarily expensive, man. Like, I think in the UK now it's what, 13 grand a year, just to study. Meanwhile, maintenance loans, all that other shit as well, isn't accounted for. And you know, people aren't getting jobs for shit after. And I think they increased the amount that you have to pay back as well, on those loans, where it used to be over, like when you're making a certain amount a year, it will pay back, but then they lowered the amount that you have to be earning a year. Because why? Because no one's getting no fucking jobs afterwards. So it's more and more hands coming in your pocket to take money, and then it's the ways of building yourself up. Before the prior generations did that, shit's dried up, man. All them wells dried up. All the magic money trees have disintegrated, man. They've decayed. They're dried up, man. They just got crusty, dry ass branches with no leaves on their money trees. And why? Jeremiah 51:7 says, "What Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad." And yeah, Babylon has got everyone drunken. Everyone's latched onto its systems. Everyone's latched onto, its conduct, the wine, the philosophies of this place. They believe that within the system of capitalism, democracy, all these things, that they're going to be able to craft, some form of life to their benefit. But now the realities of how false it was of basically come through, how BS it was. Because as it says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. Yeah, Babylon's suddenly fallen. America's suddenly fallen. Take balm for her, man. Give it some soothing balm. If so, it may be healed. It might be able to get back, man. America may be able to be great again. You got the right ointment. You can massage it into the joints. And the creaky old lady, the old bint, that whore can be rejuvenated and recovered. But now she's looking like a fucking meth crack addict, man. She's tweaking. Because says what? We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go every one into his own country. Yeah. Everyone's gonna be like, yo, fuck that place, man. It had us run. We did our best. It's happening over here in the UK. You got people that are UK nationals that are saying, fuck that shit. I'm moving to fucking Southeast Asia, to the one of them Arab states. Moving to Turkey, yeah. They're fucking off. Cause why? Cause the dream is dead, man. That's I'm thinking from the UK, from the States as well. Well, you have people from the fucking States, man. Saw an article saying like Beyonce's moving to Cotswold, man. Everyone's rolling down to Bumber-ass Clark Cotswold, man. Cause why? America's done, man. It's cooked. It's funny moving to the UK, but in the UK, the UK's cooked too. The dream's dead, man. It's cooked, man. It's calcified. It's petrified, like the fucking coral reef, man. It's done out, bro. It's suffering. It's in pain. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go every one into their own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. And yeah, that's the truth of the matter, man. It's done, man. And when that judgment comes, it's gonna be cold. All that hope and belief, and then, as it says in Revelation 18, I believe, you're gonna have people there lamentating, man, in pain, because of the merchandise they're able to do, because of money they're able to make, the lifestyle they afforded through, going hand in hand with the beast. And really they're thinking, oh, that's just going to continue as, that's going to be the standard. We're just going to build up from there. What's the truth of the matter, man? Isaiah 47:5. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. And yeah, that Lady of Kingdoms, that's gonna be in the bin. And really, it's been that's been decimated, man. Even under Nero, man. Under the rule of DJ Trump, man. This guy's basically showcased, the true spirit of America one, and then just highlight to everyone. It's a piece of shit, man. That place is horrific, and it's really beyond its time, man. It's dying out here. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke, and thou saidst, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. And yeah, that I shall be a lady forever. That's the mindset everyone has, even within America, man. They're really thinking, oh, this place is going to be opulent and at its height forever. But that opulence is really, a sign, a showcase of what? You've gone beyond the pale, man. You've got too fat. You've grown fat as a heifer at grass. And then what? Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, and that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come upon thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. And yeah, all that witchcraft, that left-hand side you've leaned into to maintain yourself, all those things are going to come against you, man. It's going to be a mark, man, a blemish against you. And, seeing these systems, the mythology around America decay, it's tied to that as well. It's cooked out here, man. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom, shalom.